Okay, all right, we're recording. All right, so today is the topic is going to be fashion and fascism. So I can go full screen here. All right, so sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been not feeling like making any videos or anything, but I know I gotta kind of keep it up, otherwise I'll just not do it for a year or whatever. But just I want to try to focus on just filling in the gaps that I see that other people maybe are missing. And so one of these gaps I think is that I'm not saying that the fascism wasn't a weapon or some kind of energy weapon or representative of a past energy. Not like that's not my argument here. Okay, I'm just going to um, try to point out the more simpler thing, which is the tie-in of fascism to fascism and the fashion industry. And one of the reasons I'll do this is like I had it like somebody, like to me, it's such an obvious thing to say that fascism and fashion, like if you want to find out about fashion and fascism, look up this guy, Hugo Boss, who designed the Nazis' uniforms. So it's all about. I probably should wiki this one. So, and what you're going to see if you look into manufacture for the Nazi Party, okay, so comes up. So this is so obviously the Nazis were fascists, okay. They're also, Hugo Boss is a big deal in fashion today. So it's a luxury German fashion house. So fashion houses. So it gets into interesting. So what I'm gonna just jump right over to what they'll try to tell us is that like this guy in 1895, everything got started. All the paintings and all the classical music and everything just magically appeared somehow in the late 1800s. Some of it they date for like the 1600s, 1500s, 1700s, whatever. But this is like, for me, this is bullshit. Yeah, I'm sure, okay, this guy was a big guy in the fashion, and whether or not they went back and then unwrote history or whatever. What I'm saying is that fashion is like saying you can't say that the 1890s was the start of anything, in the terms that we use it. It's just not that. Anyway, so what was that? We just talked about this. Guys must be from Woolworths, this is why we had Woolworths back in the day, the House of Worth. So here's another fashion house. And so these fashion houses, and there's an easy tie-in between fashion and branding. And so when you fashion something together, it's the same as if you band something together. So if I want to band a bunch of sticks together, okay, if I band a bundle of sticks together, what do I have? A bundle of sticks bandled together, okay, look, is this. A bundle of twigs bound up is a faggot. That's a bundle of sticks bound up. That's a fascist. Okay, so a band, brand, fascism, fashion, all the same. Okay, there's not too many different things you can say in the say. So it's a bundle of sticks. They also have down here in male homosexuality, and it also, well, I thought this one was interesting, is it ties in with men hired into military service merely to fill out the ranks at muster. That's from 1700, and a vote manufactured for party purposes. So if you just go and you vote, and it's just like a company vote, like you vote for your company, then you're a faggot. Or if you just like go into the military, because you're just a fucking douche who just fills up a fucking ranks at muster, you're a faggot. So those were historical uses of this term that is also a synonym of fascist. It's to bundle up a bunch of sticks together, and now you have a much stronger stick altogether. Is kind of like the strength of the is in the you know, or that they use, like the strength of the wolf is in the pack or whatever. Now I have to think about this one. But I'm not saying that that's necessarily bad. All right, so fascia. From the, okay, fascia, this is from, this fascia is in like the stuff in your body. Like is in your face, but it's a little fashioned together. Like your whole body is fashioned together by fascia. This is the noun, like the white stuff in your body. That ribbony, you know, when you're cutting out meat, if you're that of a weirdo. So I've kind of forgot what and so this is, I'm tying it in fasces and feces, because who you are fashioning or who you are banding or branding is the lowest parts of society. That's why you'll hear some, black Americans talk about how the fashion industry was created on the plantations, and so you'd rep your brand. So like my slave master Nike, and that's why they have black people do that today. I mean, to me, I think that's a little racist. Where it's like, to me, it's like obviously anyone could be a slave back in the day. It doesn't necessarily have to be black people, but yeah, whoever was in a plantation, they would get us to brand ourselves, which the brand is like the outline of the plantation. That's what a brand is. And so when you look at somebody's symbol, it's showing you like the outline of what they are. You know, like here's kind of what we are. And that gets into where branding and banding is fashion, is fascism, is the ability to kind of take these groups of people and guide them this way or that way. And this is by far the bigger war that's going on in the world. If people think like, oh, this nation's going to do this and this and this and this and this. No, the biggest thing that's going on in the world is this fashion industry, or is this industry where people are thinking one way now and they're going to think a new way in the future. And how does that change? Can you see those changes occurring? Get ahead of them. Can you affect those changes? We're at the point now where they're writing the whole script, and we are running sub to the script. So we're not even aware that there's anything even going on. But it's the dumbest thing in the world we're like watching a movie, and we're like the one people in the movie that like don't realize a movie's going on. Like we're like extras in the movie, but we don't realize we're extras in the movie, which is probably the most beautiful position to be in, because then you're like you're the witness, you're watching it, you're the idiot. And who doesn't want to be the idiot when you go into a movie? Of course you want to be the idiot, because you want to be surprised, you want to be taken in, you want to be lost in that world with them or whatever. But the problem is that, the architects of social control that are around today, they're just not that cool. They're not that good of a people, because they're not doing that good of a job of running their show. And so the show is becoming a drag. So the show itself is now the dregs. And so, it's the shitty last little bit of your coffee or wine, and it's what falls to the bottom, you know. But anyway, so let's just see what some other windows open up. So fascism also comes from fess. And this is also what is the form, a band running across the center of a shield is your fess. Okay, from the Latin fascia, band together. You hold everyone together. The red shield. This is interesting. Pirate flags were not used to be black and white with skull and crossbones. Okay, that would probably have made up history. Pirate flags were just a square red flag, a square red shield. That's what a pirate flag originally was. Go check your history books. Just figure it out. Okay, the skull and crossbones was added on later on, probably when we're writing movies, because they're like, well, these people don't understand what a red shield is. They're not a bull. They're not, it's like, so we'll write it in so they understand. Well, okay, skull and crossbones. Oh, that makes sense. And then the skull and crossbones can also, have a more of a complex of actually standing for the matriarch or whatever people want to say, So anyway, in heraldry, a fess or a fess, from the Latin fascis for band, is a charge on a coat of arms. All right, so this is just more French heraldry, and so this is where I just want to kind of tie it into, like, where is this? Where's all this stuff is gonna always boil down to these royal families? Where you're now you're gonna hear Napoleon, and where is Napoleon really? It's from the Napoli region or whatever in Italy. So where is fascism from? Fascism is from Italy, also known as classic fascism or simply fascism, is the original fascist ideology as developed in Italy. So I just kind of want to point out that this stuff will always kind of go back to Italy. And when I'm talking about Italians, I'm not talking about commoner Italian people, We're talking about royal people. If you want to see what they look like, they probably look like the people that are from the House of Windsor. But that might be a complete misdirection. These people could be blacker than black as black, says the black nobility, But however, I mean, people can say it's this or that. I think that there is something to people being just more kind of aboriginal, more native looking, more like you just live outside, and then more like you fucking live in a house like you're a little Uncle Tom bitch. And that's that's where racism does have a reality, to where it's like, if you see some dude and he's too clean, that's the fucking landlord's son. Don't trust the landlord's son. That motherfucker's clean for a reason, because he's eating your fucking family. He's eating your brothers and sisters. He's eating your... Anyway, opposed to especially Italian fascism, which is opposed to liberalism. So what I'd like to say is that, like, so liberalism is this thing that came out of Italy, right? Italy and France, they're the same fucking thing, we have to realize. Okay, these are the same, it's the same thing. And so fascism and liberalism they're a Hegelian dialectic. So that they must have been probably created around the same time, or, I mean, what I'm saying is like, you make one, you make the other. Like the church created the state in order to justify its own position. Okay? And that just actually makes me think of this. Did I have it pulled up? So I might as well do one little hoax buster for the day. So hoax buster for the day, guys. This is 2 seconds. That shows you how easily this stuff is. 2 seconds to hoax bust this thing. Mohammed Noor, 33. I'm not even going to put his name into the fucking numerology thing, because it doesn't fucking matter. Okay, look at this though. Mohammed Noor, 33. So you already got a 33 in there. And now you have an Australian. So now we got an Australian elite coming over here, a blue blood, whose name is Justice. Justice for Diamond. Okay, which is a 33 name. Of course, it's changed a little bit here because they're mixing stuff up a little bit. These events aren't real. So when you have a black police officer murdering an innocent white woman, these incidences are just Freemason, O.J. Simpson, Megyn Kelly nonsense. They're nonsense. Okay? If you believe them, you have the mind of a child. A child's mind. Okay? And I'll tell you what, man, when that actually event, I remember it was one of the last events I ever believed in. And was that guy shooting? I remember thinking, like, oh, fucking black guy shot fucking black guy's fucking name, Muhammad, shooting white chicks. And why? You know why? Because I didn't believe a lot of events before. I was already ready to not believe in anything. But that just shows we all have a little bit of whatever racism, or we're all just egoic. We're all fashioning these egos in these little governmental little bullshit worlds inside ourselves. But I mean, it's a great thing that now it doesn't matter the race or how much I would be set up to not like that person. I don't think it's real from the get-go. I don't even think it's real for 1 second. Okay? Those things are bullshit. All right, so moving through. Italian fascism. Okay, the word fashion, and now we have the fashion industry. All right, actually, let's wrap it up there. Why don't I? So these are pictures on fashion and fascies. So you notice how, well, what are we looking at? Are we looking at pictures of fashion or fascies pictures? Because they're all mixed in together. You know what I'm saying? Fashion plus fascies. But anyway, the idea is hopefully I can keep this kind of simple. Maybe I'll make, because you can go as deep as you want to go with this topic. But what I'm trying to kind of point out is, why does Lincoln come up fashion and fascies? Because he sits with his, it just shows you that Lincoln was a fashion. Okay, just like slavery was a fashion. That was like some of their big moving the world from where they wanted to go here to there. So how they're moving the world in the way that they want to go is through fashion. So when we're kind of, we're worried about this, it's like, no, we have to be thinking about, like, it's like, why else do you think they pay these rock stars and sports celebrities, millions and millions of dollars? Because they are the knife edge of this war. And what is war? Okay, this is like a million videos I could do on this guy, so I gotta just stop it because this is literally so many topics I'm gonna touch on at once, but nobody's talking about it, so it at least has to be said, because hopefully I'll get the complaints. Everybody will complain about this fucking video. Hey, this is bad, and I'm trying to make whatever, because I don't like shit that has no production value either. But it's like, you guys have to understand that I do this stuff completely fucking for free. So what I'm gonna try to show you guys real quick is that war is a fashion. It's a wear. It's something you wear. War is wears. And so, like, when you're a werewolf, you're a man wearing a wolf. And so when you wear a soldier's uniform, I'm a cop, and so today's modern day Roman soldier um, is the police. And if this picture would ever pull up, all right. Part of the problem with why, like, a lot of people wonder, why is everything going so slow these days? Like, results used to be so fast. It's because everything's AI now, and so you want to talk about some fashion. You want to get back to where we just were with Hugo Boss, and now you're looking at some of the most fashionable people. The police have always had the absolute highest in fashion. So look at how fashionable these two dudes are. I mean, that looks good. That's a good looking outfit and everything. Okay, it's not much different than. Look. See? Can you see when showing? You see what I'm saying? Am I just making shit up here? Okay, and so, also, guys, hopefully you guys, what do you understand is that, like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to quit talking shit. So, where were we? So, police fashioning, banding everyone together, fashioning everyone together. That's government. That's governing the men. And under Black's legal dictionary, everyone is a man. If you later on come and say, oh, wait, no, I'm not a man, I'm a woman. Well, fine, okay, you can't vote then. Because everyone is a man. There's female men and male men. Okay? Male men. There's females and males, but everyone is a man. Just like there's, if you come up and you say, I'm a black man, you don't get the right to vote. You have to be a man. If you don't understand that, and so, I mean, obviously, because people are racist, piece of shit judges, it's like you can be a black man, understand that people are still going to, treat you like shit. But, all that stuff is fashion and branding. Fashion. So we accept this kind of slavery. This is why it's so important to control this whole industry or whatever. Who is the kings of the fashion? Who sits right there, right in between Italy and Rome and all this? Catholic Church, CC 33. I didn't look through this. So I don't know. I don't want to bore you guys. I know everyone likes visuals, so I'll try to keep the visuals going. Here, House of Paquin. Like Anna Paquin from the world. The Paquin family. And so this is where rabbit holes with this. Anywhere you get into, you start looking into this, and you see that it's just there is nothing that's really happening in the world other than this fashion industry, which is it's everything. It's this whole movement. This is the whole government. While they put this government, which is really just us hiring our own prison guards because they've dumbed us down so much that we need them. While they're busy writing the story of how the whole world is gonna move and feel and stuff, and obviously right now it's the fashion industry is to be the undoing. It's what has the word legal from that Encyclopedia Britannica, 5 words, the undoing of God's law. And so that's legal. And then because then they starts coming in, is the name for God gets very disambiguous. Like who's a God? God is anybody who's given anybody a landlord. Every landlord's a God, and so that's why the Bible has kind of been. It's not really rewritten. It's been washed. So the glory that you should be giving to a creator, you're just giving to like the guy who's running. It's like the landlords of the world got together and kind of refashioned everything. So the whole Bible's written so if you don't know who to pay your rent to, you pay it to the landlord's son. Think about it, And if you're waiting for someone to save you, it's going to be the landlord's son who's going to save you. So keep paying your taxes, keep chilling out. If someone's going to save you, the landlord's son's going to come around. And so that's why it was interesting about when you're talking about, and this is why the Jesus story then makes sense. When you realize that Jesus was not the son of some poor people, Jesus was the son of very wealthy people, obviously. Jesus wouldn't have been depicted as being one of the whiter people in the, which maybe he wasn't. Some people will say that he wasn't, but Jesus is a lot of time depicted as somebody who's like probably one of the more city-dwelling people. One of the more city-dwelling people who kind of starts to wake up and realize, hey, maybe we shouldn't be farming these country people like we are. We're a bunch of jerks, And then that's the idea that the rich people are always afraid of, is that some son is going to come along. One of the sons is going to come along and ruin this wonderful business plan that they have because he's just going to be like a fair person and not want to be involved in the French heraldry, or just the general fagotry, the bundling of sticks, fashioning them together, banding them up, you know? So now everybody is now thinking the same, you know? It's like people are wondering, how do they fucking get all this Tartarian, you know, this flat earth and all this mind control? Well, this is how. It's because we're thinking they have us like a Borg already, you know? But anyway, I'm going to watch this video to see if it came out the way that I wanted. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Oh, so I'll have to... I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever get the video done, but I encourage you guys to look into the connections if you're interested more, because I don't have maybe have the time to do it all, into werewolves, war, wearing something, to wear your, like wearing your fashions, what war really is, to look at there's an acronym for wars that actually ties in with early Olympic Games, and what you're thinking is thousands of years ago, but that's not true. Early Olympic Games, we're talking hundreds of years ago, okay, maybe even 100 years ago, and these early Olympic Games were called wars. And so the fact that they kind of amped up some of this stuff into this satanic, I mean, the Satanism peaked in the World War IIs, and they have been trying to make a deal with God ever since with this New World Order stuff. And I mean, maybe it's going to work out, maybe it's not. But I think what we all can clearly see is that for the common person, we've escaped the reality of this fictitious war-based reality that they used to use to fashion us into their desires. They used to use war to band us together, and then so we would be focused on, you know, Spain's the enemy, France is the enemy, England's the enemy, and then we would just keep paying the same rich families that were all intermarried with each other, you know. So anyway, I'm going to make another video about this, just because I think this is a pretty good topic, but I wanted to get something out there. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.